What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our channel. Is this your first time? Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time, thanks for stopping by. Welcome you guys to today's live episode with your boy Cike. And as you can see from the topic, we are discussing a shocking DNA test which shattered the life of a young man, a Nigerian young man who resides in Canada. So I know most of you must have, read a lot of things about the story, or you must have seen other videos that people have done to, analyze this situation. So I want to join the queue and air my own opinion. And also let's look at a marriage that was contracted about 3 months ago. Now the wife, the woman, the new bride just came out to reveal that last week that her husband raped her. So, it's shocking to me to hear that a husband can rape his wife. I don't really understand what actually happened there. So I want to tell you people the story so that you will give us or give me your contributions. Tell me how you see it, So first of all, let's get over with the Canadian-based Nigerian who came back to pick his family to live with him in Canada. As you know, if you're residing abroad, particularly we Africans or all over the world, if you're residing abroad and you want to pick your family, your children must go through a DNA test to ascertain actually that they are your biological children or you are their biological father. So this young man came back from Canada to pick his family. In the process, they ran a DNA test on the 3 children and it revealed that none of the children out of the 3, none is his. So I started wondering what must have happened, because I saw the way the man beat his wife, took out about 4 teeth from her mouth and different scars and a bloody face. People have been commenting. Some went as far as asking why the man didn't terminate the woman's life. And we blamed him, we blamed her. So, but I've sat down to think about this. You don't actually blame the woman a lot. You don't blame the man completely. Because if you're abroad and you want to get married, I believe the best thing for you to do, if you know that you can't go to Nigeria, if you can't go to your country, if you can't go to any part of Africa that you're coming from, the best thing for you to do is to settle down at that place that you reside. If you live in London, get married in London. If you are in Canada, get married in Canada. If you're in the US, get married in the US. Than going to Africa or staying where you reside and send money to your people to get you a wife. At the end of the day, you're tying somebody's daughter down and you're not there to do your responsibilities, to live the life that you have signed to live, to do the things that a husband does for his wife. If the woman now misbehaves, you try to bring her to an altar to sacrifice her because of your own negligence. So the best thing to do is this. I've said it before in a previous video, that if you are leaving Nigeria or any part of Africa for United States or these Western countries, if you are not married, forget about marriage till you settle down in the country that you are traveling to. But if you are married and you are leaving, you want to travel for greener pastures, the best thing to do is to sit your wife down, talk things over with her, ask her, honey, can you be able to wait for me? Because we all know that body no be firewood. Ask your wife if she is capable of enduring your long absence, if she can wait, if no other man can go close to your resting place. That's the question you need to ask your wife. Ask her if she can be able to close everything up, secure your investment for you until you find your feet in the country that you're going to, and you return back to her in peace. So if she says she can wait, good and fine. But if she cannot, set that woman free, because I don't think the best thing for you to do is just abandon her, hop onto the plane and fly to wherever country or the destination that you wish, and expect her to fold her arms and legs and wait for you for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years without feeling like a human being. So that's one thing I want to say on that. The second one is, if you know that you are traveling and you're not married, travel and forget about marriage. When you get to your destination, you look for a wife there and settle down. Now, this man and the woman had 3 children, and none of them is biologically this man's child. None is biologically his. Don't you think that this man deserves a complete medical checkup? Because it's strange to me that a man can be claiming to have 3 children, and at the end of the day, a DNA test reveals that none of the kids belongs to him. So I wonder how he said that he is hiding something. He said that he is hiding something, because he can't tell me that this man has been coming back home, being with the wife, doing things with the wife. Because if he has not been sleeping with his wife, there's no way the wife will claim to be pregnant and he will accept it. So he must have been coming home, running shows with her, traveling back, and if the woman says, I'm pregnant, definitely he will say, glory be to God, hallelujah. So for him not to be able to impregnate his wife all these years, because give or take, for them to bear 3 children, they must have been together for about 8 years. Let's say 8 years for them to have 3 children, depending on the spacing of the kids. So how comes this man never impregnated his wife? Or is it that the woman is trying to cover this man's shame? We know how it is in Africa, that you are married to a wife, a young wife at that, and 2 years, 3 years, she hasn't conceived. Family members will come. Your parents, if they are alive, they will start. Your mother particularly. They won't give you peace. They will not allow that woman to drink water and drop the cup. So it's either this woman tried to cover the man's shame by going out there and getting pregnant for him, or getting pregnant in his name. So that's one theory. I think maybe that's what happened, But on the other hand, we know completely that that woman didn't do well. If you cannot wait for your husband, the best thing to do is to tell him to come home. That if he doesn't come home, that you are leaving, that you can't wait anymore. That's the best thing to do than sleeping around with different men, getting pregnant in your husband's name, in his absence. I don't understand that. The woman didn't do well. It's betrayal. That is the height of cruelty. Deceit. How can you deceive a man who is hustling abroad, going through the cold, all the necessary or all the normal sufferings that immigrants pass through, in the name of trying to make life better for you and the children? The only thing she could do is to pay him back with this kind of coin. So I don't really understand it. Because if somebody, a husband, is nice to you being the wife, I suppose the right thing to do is to reciprocate. Whether the man is around or he's not around, the right thing to do is to show him that appreciation, that you appreciate all he's done, and also in returns, he will appreciate you too for being there, waiting for him, securing the house and the marriage while he's away there, hustling for the betterment of the family. So for him to return and meet this kind of situation, it's shocking. I wonder if this man can be able to recover from this experience. I don't think he can be able to recover from it, because there is no way you can try to convince a man that kids that are not his, or kids that he thought were his, turned out not to be his, and some people may even commit suicide. Some people will commit suicide because the shame alone. We are Africans, we know how it is. If it is the whites, maybe who cares? But we are Africans. So how can he be able to walk on the streets? He can't even come out and speak in the midst of his mates. So it's something disheartening. I don't know. Maybe this woman needs to pay the husband some compensation. She needs to pay him some compensation, because wasting his time, his resources, energy, and the emotional trauma too. Not to talk of what these kids will be passing through, because these kids felt that their father lives abroad. Now they are going to be feeling that the man that they have called dad right from the day they were born has turned out to be a stranger to them. So they are going to pass through more stress and more hell than this man self, because they may end up growing up disliking their mother. They may grow up to dislike their mother because of her attitude, this kind of cruel act that she has displayed. It's a disaster, because marriage that is built, the foundation is built on deceit, always end up like this. This kind of disaster that comes with it now sends these children to eternal suffering, because they can't be able to hold themselves. They can't contain it. By now, they must have turned to object of mockery in the community. They can't even go to school. There is no ear that will hear this and will not cry. No ear that will hear it and that will not rumble. So, my father today resides in Canada. Tomorrow morning, somebody I never even thought of in my life, maybe within the street, now turn out to be my father. How do you expect me to feel about that kind of information? I don't know. The emotional trauma that the kids must have been sentenced to by now, by now they are in depression. So that's how I see it. So if you cannot wait for your spouse, whether a man or a woman, please make it known to them. And leaving your wife alone for that long period of time, I don't know what you're thinking. If you're in Canada, if you're in US, and you want your wife to stay in Africa permanently while you are there, my brother, your car is parked at an owner's risk. Your wife is there at your own risk. If anything goes wrong, blame yourself, don't blame her. Because I know that the man in question in Canada is not alone there. You can't tell me that maybe this man spent 5 years before returning home and he waited 5 years just to come back to Africa and meet his wife without shining Congo. Organobi, you know possible now. Possible. This man must have been shining Congo there. So, do me, I do you. Organo vex too much because you contributed to what happened to you. It's not just your wife's fault. You contributed too. So that's how I see the thing. That's how I see it. You don't leave your wife like that. You don't starve your wife of emotions. You don't starve her of your marital obligation. You don't just starve her. That's her conjugal right. You must give it to her, because if you don't give it, there are people outside waiting to take your position. There are people out there waiting to assist you because you refuse to do your job. Let me tell you something that happened few days ago. A banker in our country too, they posted him to a new station. They transferred him from his state to a new state. So before he left, somebody introduced a fresh graduate to the family who is helping their kids with their academics, extramural lesson. So, but before this man left, according to the wife, she has been asking this man to service her. Service me, the man will say tomorrow. Tomorrow, service me, the man will say next week. I have a lot of things to do. I've been working in the office, I'm tired, blah, blah, blah. Oga, service me, now your work be this, so, madam, can you wait? Let me finish this project I have. I'll take care of you. The woman said she kept asking persistently. Why the thing wasn't forthcoming, she stopped because it was damaging her image and she was feeling ashamed of herself. It's as if she's the only one that needs the something that her husband never cared. So she stopped. All right, they transferred him and the man left. Immediately the man left, the woman jumped into bed with the lesson teacher. From 5:30 that the teacher teaches the children, they dropped it down to 4 o'clock because the children goes to church between 4 and 5:30. So if they leave for church by 4 o'clock, the teacher will come in the name of lesson. Then he'll be teaching this woman lesson till 5:30 when the children will return. Then the main lesson will continue or the main lesson will start. So they've been doing it like this. The woman became pregnant, confided in her friend that she's pregnant for the teacher. The friend advised her to pin the pregnancy on the husband, and she, being foolish enough, knew that she had not been having any sexual interaction with the husband for a while, gave it a thought, started contemplating about it till the man returned from his new workplace after 4 months and met her pregnant. Everything scattered. She couldn't deny it because the stomach is already big. So if you starve your wife or starve your husband, these days if you go through the news, you see lots of divorce cases. About 50% of them says that my wife denies me sex, or my wife starves me of this, or my husband refused to sleep with me. These some of the things that we see. So you must do your marital obligation. You must live up to it as a husband, as a responsible wife. So if you don't take care of it, someone by the corner will take care of business for you. So let's move on to the next story here. A new wife, that a husband, a couple that just got married they got married 3 months ago. So it happened that the man's birthday fell on a Tuesday. They decided to move it to Saturday so that it will come into the weekend, and they invited a few friends. So after they get together Saturday evening, actually this woman said that she and her husband did something the previous night and that Saturday morning. Then in the night after they finished their get together, everybody left. So it was only her that stayed back to clean up the house. So before she could finish everything, it was around 11 p.m. and stuff like that. Well, she moved everything off, had her bath, and went to bed. The husband came, wanted to be a man, wanted to be a husband, tried to do something. So the wife said she's tired, that she can't be able to do anything now. She's so tired. I can't see my messages. What's happening here? Please, if you can see me, hit the like button. What's happening? Come on, I can't. Where are my messages? Anyway, so the man tried to do something with the wife. The wife says she's tired, that he can wait, that he should wait till the following day so that she will be able to have some rest, that she's been working since morning. You know, the man couldn't take it. He just got up angrily, left the bedroom. The woman closed her eyes. The next thing she had on her face was boy, hot slap. So she felt she was dreaming, opened her eyes. Her vision became blurry, but she could sense that that's her husband. She was like, "Sweetheart, is that you? Did you just slap me?" He landed her another one, pinned her down, tore her sleeping gown and all that. Before she knew it, he was inside her doing the something. So she couldn't move. She was pinned. She couldn't move. The man overpowered her. I don't know if something possessed the husband, or I don't know how to describe that, because you can't tell me that you can't hold yourself. Just one night. They did something the previous day. Just one night. Why couldn't he wait than to force your wife to sleep with you? So I don't understand that kind of lifestyle. So if you have, I want to give a general advice on that. If you have a husband that can't hold himself, that becomes possessed with that spirit of, make sure that you don't keep a maid around him, and make sure that you don't have your younger sisters looking around your house if he's around. Because if it holds him, if that urge comes, which means any hole becomes a hole to him. He doesn't even mind if it's a mad woman or a child's, hole. He will just enter. So watch what happens in your life. Watch what happens in your marriage. Analyze it. Know the kind of partner that you're having. And try to find a way to make your marriage work. Because just 3 months marriage, 3 months, and such complaint is coming out. Somebody is seeking for help, asking, what is she going to do? This is what the husband did to her. Does she need to complain to the authorities? Does she need to complain to the husband's people? Or does she need to complain to her own parents? So I believe that we are all humans. If you're not ready today, you may be ready tomorrow. And if your partner says that she can't today, with reason, you have to understand, because we are not machines, we are humans. If someone is tired, you don't need to force her. You don't even need to force your wife. The way you can't force a girl outside or a lady outside, you shouldn't force your wife because she's your wife. Because this mentality that you are now my property, we are legally married, I have the right now to do it anytime I want. Yes, you are legally married, but she has feelings. If she can't, relax. The same goes to the women. If your husband can't, endure. If it's tomorrow, no problem. But don't say because you didn't do it today, tomorrow you start looking for your gardener, your gate man, your driver to take your husband's place in your life. So that's all for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not. Share our videos with your friends and family. I'll see you guys by this time next Saturday. Please, let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Air your opinion and say how you see the whole thing that I've said. I will see you guys around. Peace.